Hello, my name is Alison and I work here in the Antiques department at Fellows Auctioneers. I thought I would have a quick chat with you today about some really fine Satsuma that we have coming up for auction. The term Satsuma originates from the southern port or the southern province of Japan known as Satsuma. Originally, the early pieces of Satsuma were very plain in their decoration and date to the 16th and 17th century. By the time we get to the Meiji period, which is 1868 until 1912, we see the rise of richly decorated and very elaborate pieces of Satsuma, much like the examples that we have here. Most of the pieces will tell a story or they portray important imagery, but actually a lot of these pieces were made in the East specifically for the Western market, so these would have been available for purchase in a higher end department store such as Liberty's and so forth. And if we look here, we have some really lovely examples of the incredibly intricate paintwork that we forget would have been done by candlelight and often by brushes with 2 or 3 bristles as their sort of brush. What's really interesting about a lot of the Satsuma that's produced in this period is this is the first time we see artists actually being able to paint their signature on the bottom of pieces. So for example, if we take this pair here, we have an artist's signature on the base. Sadly, it's not always as easy to identify these artists' mark, but at least it's there and it shows the skill involved in the artist and the fact that he's been able to mark his wares. Perhaps one of the best collected is the Kinkazan family of potters. Now, we don't have any pieces from in this collection, but again, this is a highly regarded name that people look for in terms of Satsuma collecting. If we look here, we have essentially what, to my mind, a very Western item. It's a little tray that would sit on your dressing table. Incredibly detailed. I mean, the work involved and the skill, even down to the very, very fine bristle brushwork for the grasses and the sort of flowers and leaves. And then we have this incredibly elaborate and richly gilt pattern border. It's attention to detail that every element is covered with decoration. We have here this rather fine vase here, again telling a story as we move round. It has the little figures in conversation and playing games. But then we also have a quite popular subject matter of densely packed flowers. And every single one is individually painted and individually gilt, and it's just exquisite craft. If we go back to this pair here, we have this beautiful decoration and beautiful scenes of Japanese ladies in a garden setting, but quite fun, we have these sort of children almost riding stork-like creatures, and again with a very, very densely patterned ground. This would have been so modern and so different from anything that was available on the market at the time. It would have been very exotic to have Japanese wares in your home as opposed to the traditional Victorian Staffordshire, or I suppose the emerging Majolica of the period. This would have been in complete contrast. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you've learned a little snippet of information about Satsuma. We quite frequently have pieces in our sales, so keep in touch and have a look on our website, fellows.co.uk.